Good time of the day. Today, actually, we planned to talk more about meditation. And actually, we got another interesting question about, is there such thing as addiction to coffee? And we plan to talk about it. However, because of the situation with Delta variant and a lot of questions from our patients, from people who are not our patients, we decided to share some thoughts about Delta variant. So that's what this video is about.
Yes, I've been coming here for about 5 to 6 months, and I have noticed I have been explained a lot more about pain. I've been given more detail than just coming in and being just medicated out and sent out the door. He goes through a lot of stuff about what can cause your pain. He encourages you to watch the videos to learn more. I'm losing weight. I thank God for that because I haven't lost weight in a long time, and I've lost about 22 pounds. And my friends can see a big difference in me, and so can my family, and I really appreciate it.
My name is Kenneth Gaines, and I'm here at Dr. McGloney's office, the best doctor on the planet. When I first came in here, I had so much pain I couldn't even do anything. Now I'm going fishing. I feel good about myself, self-esteem. My appetite is good. I'm sleeping good. Now I'm thinking about doing a whole lot of other things I didn't used to do. But thanks to Dr. McGloney and the medicines and this technique and the friendly people and stuff that work here, made me able, plus they love me and I can't help for coming back. I feel better every day.
Dr. McGolan told me about the medication zinc, vitamin C, D, and zinc. On the floor in the prison, 160 inmates were sick with COVID, and they couldn't recover. And I told them about the vitamin C, D, and zinc, and now all of them are doing better. All of them are up and they're active, and they're all extra grateful about learning about the zinc.
Well, let me start with just 1 to 2 minute recap on what the variant is, why this variant is more aggressive or more dangerous, and general strategic understanding of what can be done. It's not meant to be, obviously, a scientific full presentation. You can find those online, the basic science, but it's supposed to give you a clue. First of all, we talked many times that when viruses replicate into millions or even billions of copies inside the cells, and that happens in millions of people or hundreds of millions of people, then like any copying process, there is a chance of mistake, and the mistakes are random, and they can generate variants. And that happens on daily basis, not on hourly basis. But most of those variants are insignificant. They're actually defective, and they die out, and nobody hears about them. Occasionally, few times out of those, hundreds of millions of variants, there are variants that actually make virus stronger, and that's those that we hear about. So it's not something new. It happened in the past, and unfortunately may happen in the future. And this variant called Delta, it's more contagious. Obviously, it's as contagious of chickenpox. I think more contagious than smallpox. And it produces what we call more viral load. Some people say 1,000 times more. So viral load, I would explain it as like you're going to war. So how big is the enemy army and how fast they can bring reinforcements? So if we talk about virus as our enemy, it can bring 1,000 times more soldiers very fast. And that basically is a big challenge to our defense system, even for people who got immunized. And I'm fully vaccinated. As a disclosure, you can see my video about vaccination. Even if you are vaccinated, and you have some defense systems, these defense systems can be insufficient or overwhelmed by this new variant. It does make sense to get the third shot as a booster, but we see that even the countries like Iceland or Israel, I think one is about 75% population vaccinated and the other one like above 80, maybe 85, they still get a big wave of Delta variant. So it's very clear that vaccine alone is not enough to stop this wave. Having said that, Israeli data with a lot of third dose and generally even before shows that they assess that vaccine still lowers your risk by about 5 times or more. So it's still decent protection. Some people say 88, 85, 90% protection from hospitalization, not from infection with Delta, but it still leaves 10, 12, 13% of people who are vaccinated who are still can get into hospitals. And that answers the question of the critics. How is it possible that the person is fully vaccinated, forgot about the virus, and he's in the ICU? We also see with this virus more difficult cases with children and younger ages, and we need that's the reason we need to be more careful. So in the third part of this video, we're going to talk, so if vaccination is not enough, even the third dose, what else practically can you do? Well, so what can you do? Well, one thing you can do, you can look at our pre-vaccine videos from a year ago, primarily the video called Zinc and quercetin, and we'll talk about that more, as well as the earlier videos. Then we talk about other measures. And as we mentioned many times, vaccine can be very useful, but it's like in the military, you have F-35s. It's a big game changer, but it's not enough to win the war sometimes. You need Marines, you need other branches of the military, or in other analogy, you need different types of defenses, and they call it Swiss cheese model. If you look at the Swiss cheese, like it's green and it has a hole, and each layer, each slice has a hole in a different area. So vaccine is good, but it leaves this 10-20% at danger of hospitalization. That's the hole in this layer of defense. Mask is good, but it can't prevent everything that has another hole, right? Supplements are good, but they are also not enough by themselves. So each layer has a hole, but if you put one layer second to the other, then holes are covered by the strings in another layer. And that's why you need multiple levels of defense. So what are those levels of defense? I would start with something that we discussed just in the beginning of pandemic, but maybe people kind of lose focus on it once the vaccine started to take the main stage. And this is first, general well-being, good nutrition, avoiding sugary foods, avoiding alcohol, junk, and everything we talked about. By the way, our low inflammatory diet we suggest for pain patients, it's very good for immune system as well. It's stress control, right? If you're stressed out, your immune system doesn't function well. Look at our stress control video and meditation video. And a couple of new points. There is a lot of data, we mentioned it, that ventilation, it could be, you can consult specialists, change ventilation patterns in your buildings or houses if you can, or just open the window and with a fan, ventilation is good. Spending time outdoors, not indoors. And interestingly, there was a study in the Nature, one of the journals of Nature, I believe Nature Biochemistry, that checked the resistance of children to viral infection and levels of interferon. And they found that the people who have more interferon, they're more resistant to this Delta virus, which is common sense to somebody who knows microbiology and immunology, but it's very nice that it was shown beyond a reasonable doubt. And there were a lot of studies. So you say, okay, where can I get this interferon? Very interestingly, There are several ways to naturally boost your interferon. It was tested actually in the 20s before antibiotics for conditions like neurosyphilis, for other bacterial infections. And they showed that if they call it put a person in a hot box, it boosts your interferon. Being in a hot temperature and safe environment or inducing fever boosts your interferon. So if you have infrared sauna or regular sauna and you can spend safely, ask your primary care and cardiologist sometime in the sauna, it definitely boosts your immune system and it can protect you from this variant. Or contrast shower, hot, cold, or just, as I said, if it's too difficult standing under warm or hot shower and pouring warm or pouring cold or lukewarm, at least liquid water on yourself can boost your immune system. And then you walk out to the cold area. It boosts the contrast in temperature boosts your immune system. I also want to mention good old UV light. UV light kills any variant, including Delta variant. This is one of the simple things. It's just a regular stand for regular lamp in the house. You can exchange it. This is a timer box with UV unit. It's LED. It's inexpensive fairly, and it doesn't consume a lot of energy. The problem is you can be around it really for a long time once your UV is on. But for example, in our office, we have UV light disinfection in staff bathroom. We have it in the waiting area, and when patients are not there, we disinfect. We have portable units. It can be portable and disinfect areas where you suspect people of high risk, or later, they turned out, or whatever you're concerned, they were COVID positive. You can turn them at night on timer. So you can also get UV rods and stick them into your air conditioning or heating ducts. I guess you can get them online. I think on Amazon. They're fairly inexpensive, but I'm not promoting any products, but it's just idea. In an ideal world, you may be able to get something called UVC, C like cat. This is a special wave of UV, which is not dangerous to your eyes. And technically, you can put it on your ceiling or even keep it on. You need, again, consult a specialist, and technically it can disinfect the ear. And I would finish with something we discussed a year ago, but I would just recap. It's good old zinc, quercetin, right? Zinc, remember, it stops the copy machine of the virus. Quercetin is ionoform that pushes it inside the cells. I'm a little bit more confident now after we published 20-week study. You can check us on PubMed. There is a video, and maybe we'll put it in the description to this video. This is another liquid zinc from TJ Clark. You can get zinc in tablets. It's just harder to titrate. This is quina. This is the root that actually also is ionoform. And then obviously good old vitamin D. I don't have it here, but it's common sense. Everybody is aware of vitamin D. I still believe, like I believed a year ago, you should keep your vitamin D between 50 and 70, not in the 20s and the 30s, but also not too high, between 20, 50s and 70s. Ask your primary care provider or internist. And then good old vitamin C, 1 gram a day, and vitamin E. No clear guidelines. Some people take 1,000 units a week. Some people take 200 units a day. Some people take in between, but I think there is some advantage to that. I think that was kind of a short recap answering this question. And I hope everybody is well and healthy and will get over this wave soon. Thank you.